Good evening. Today's story is called Where the Wild Things Are. It's actually drawn and written by Marie Sendak. This is my favorite story of all times. It's interesting to see on the title page that this book was actually first published in 1963. I wasn't even born at that time. Let's get started. First, if we look at the cover, what do you think this book is going to be about? I personally see a monster. He looks like he's kind of sleeping in a boat. I'm not sure what that boat is about, but it'll be interesting to find out. You notice anything else on the cover? Besides the fact that it is an award-winning book. And when we turn the page, we see a little boy with a crown on his head, and which looks like a costume because he has a tail and whiskers too. So must have something to do about that. And more monsters. So maybe these monsters are wild things. And do you think he might be a wild thing as well? Let's find out. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. What's he doing? Is he chasing the dog? And I notice a picture on the wall. Do you think he drew that? Let's see. Oh, it does say Max. Are you allowed to run down your stairs and chase your dog? His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to his bed without eating anything. Have any of you ever been sent to bed without your supper? That night, in Max's room, a forest grew. Look at those trees. Have you ever had a forest grow in your room? I haven't. And grew. And look, his window shows the moon. Look at that forest in his room. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines. Oh my gosh. And the walls became the world all around. What in the world? And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat just for Max. And he sailed off through the night and day. What? I don't think his mom's going to be happy about this. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Oh my gosh. Look at that wild thing. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible teeth, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. Ah! Are you scared? Look at those. Look at those monsters. Oh. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with his magic trick. of staring into all of their yellow eyes without blinking once. Can you stare into someone's eyes without blinking once? Okay, I can't do it. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. Oh my goodness, look at them. They are afraid of Max. Look at him. And made him the king of all the wild things. So that's why he has this crown on. And they're bowing to him. Goodness gracious, look at that. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. What's a wild rumpus? Do you have wild rumpus at your house, especially during the time where you can't leave your house? I think it's time for all of us to have a wild rumpus. Look, they're boom, 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 boom. Look at them. Look at them. They're wild. Wild, wild, wild. Look, more wildness. Look at them swinging from the trees even. Now that's wild. Swinging from the trees. Oh my goodness. They don't care if somebody gets hurt. And look at them. Look at them. Marching around. Dancing. That's a wild, wild rumpus. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. Who else was sent to bed without their supper? And Max, the king of all the wild things, he was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. I bet you know where that is. How many of you want to guess? Probably at his home. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being the king of where the wild things are. He gave up being king? But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." Eat him up, Lord have mercy. And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye, and sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. Do you see his supper? And it was still hot. Now, have you ever been sent to your room and imagined that you were carried away on a magic boat? Why don't you create a story that would involve you going to a magical place? What would be there? Would there be wild things there or other things? Now you can write about it or draw a picture about it, and have a wonderful day.